Yeah. So, do you guys want to, for the benefit of, I suppose, Emma, as well as for posterity, who would like to, of how we arrived here?
Yes, I'm very interested.
Yvonne, you've been nominated.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna totally miss a bunch of stuff. Okay,
That's okay. You
so
can start us off, and I'm sure someone else can fill in some gaps.
oh good. Okay, so after our street fight with the urchins, which didn't go well, um, we almost lost Satina, and they ran off, and we caught one, and we tried to interrogate him, and it didn't go so well because he was shot in the neck with an arrow,
Oh,
and yeah, wasn't so good. And I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I don't see his icon on here. Um, the Minotaur went and tried to interview a villager in the one villager that's standing in the street, and they sort of vaguely pointed off into a direction. And then we decided to go and um, follow to the bridge. Did we take a rest? I can't remember if we took a rest. Oh
You
yeah, we did. We went back
did.
to yeah, we went back to the restaurant and chilled out and helped out there. Um, and Cora has encountered these guys before. We had some discussions, and we decided that they were the shadow thieves of That's what the villager was. That no, that's what the guy said that we interrogated. And they have a tattoo on their arm with a mask and a knife through it. And that's when I think Cora had realized that she had encountered them before. And they're operating here in Chult, but that's pretty concerning considering that the that where we are now is self-governed by princes, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't really want the as the aggressor nation poking around in here. So then I think we thought we'd go and talk to Jessamine, but that means we have to get into the town. And does somebody else want to pick it up from there? We went to the bridge, and there's a whole pile of notes here, but they're getting messier.
We met Tonka the Tinker at the entrance to the city, and he wanted us to vouch for him. We reunited him with Winrack, and he imparted to us that Neverwinter hasn't been the same since we left. The Zentrum have taken over, and Lord Neverember does basically whatever Lord Vidar wants. Cracker bought a 5 gold piece shovel from Tonka. And we also told him that Merivale has taken Oivan and the sword. And we did get through the gates, and we're overwhelmed by the smell and feces from all the big animals. Um,
Ugh.
yeah. One of the things that we did when we were in Susna, Cora and Darlin both had the shoop, the stew in shoes.
Right.
And after our long rest, we're going to get 5 temporary hit points because of it. I also had my liver chips that he gave us. Now, everybody else also got a bundle of liver chips, but they're saving them because it gives you acid resistance for 1 hour and it'll heal you for 8 HP when you eat them. Um, I cast Aid on Satina, Cracker, and Meridian for 15 HP each.
Hmm.
So you've each got that for 8 hours, and I've put Death Ward on Darlin so that should she get hit, she goes down to 1 hit point rather than dies, because she's obviously our other healer. Um, so was there anything else? Oh, Satina's backpack was nicked by the hooded people that were with the urchins, and that's why Cud went and spoke to the villagers, because we're trying to find out where they went so that we can go and get it back.
hmm
Very good. Anything else anybody wants to add?
So drink the soup.
Sorry.
I thought only 2 of us did. The soup from Sustenance?
Yes.
I'd also drink it.
It was Core and Darlin, I think.
Satina definitely tried the soup.
The soup.
I didn't make the save, so I have disadvantage on con saves.
I think you all tried the soup.
We all
Yeah.
yeah, we
Two
all
of you
did.
made it.
Yeah.
One of you had a negative experience.
Mhm.
Yes. Who
Oh,
was
yeah,
it
2
who
of
had
us
the
only-
negative experience?
I did. So I have
Yeah.
disadvantage on con saves.
For 24 hours.
Yes.
And sorry, did we take a long rest?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. There was a couple more. So a couple of extra bits. Did Maddie, did you want to add anything? Or Henrietta, do you want to add anything?
Only that we think that they nicked the backpack because of the letters that we found on the boat.
Yeah, the
Scrolls and letters and stuff.
the
Yeah.
maps and orders of battle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's potentially quite important. As the question is, why did they steal it? And also the spell book.
Yeah.
Yeah, my spell book was in there.
Oh no.
Kind of important.
I mean, unless you're trying to switch your character to like a barbarian or maybe a sorcerer, or I don't
Well, we
need no
already have
fucking
one of
spell book.
those. We already have a druid,
The
a cleric.
the hooded people, they look like children, but they're very well developed for a child, so they're not a normal kind of child, and they're clearly a professional at what they do because they've got scars all over their arms and legs.
Oh, right. And I skewered one. And that's not great. But I mean, Cracker doesn't care.
Yeah,
and and another one got skewered when I was interrogating him,
Mm-hmm.
which was really annoying because he was spilling the beans.
Yeah, he was cooperating.
yeah, because somebody was putting her new. What did you decide to call them again?
Oh, my new boots. Oh, my kick. What did I call them? My kick-ass boots, I think, is what I've called them. Hang on. Put it in the thing.
You're a magic item. You should be able to remember.
Yeah, my kick-ass armored boots. That's what I've called them.
With proficiency of they grant proficiency in intimidation checks.
Yeah.
So.
And then I also used the dagger that I'd got from one of the bodies to intimidate him as well. And the two combined just worked quite well.
I think Cora's a natural, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Sorry, did you guys mention who you thought or who you found out the urchins represented or worked for or were part of?
We think it's Lord Vidar because we think the maps and the orders of battle were on the Zentrim boat, and the guy that we interrogated said it was a very powerful individual, but we didn't get a name before the arrow hit him. But we think that's who it is based on what they stole.
Well, they're also the Shadow Thieves.
The Shadow Thieves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a vestige. Their presence is a vestige of the colonial influence that the nation of Alm still exerts upon the now liberated Chultan Peninsula / Port Nine Zaru population. Yes, very good. Yeah, inspiration to everybody. And Emma, just so you know, Meridian did receive as well a bag of these dragon liver chips. They act as a potion of healing combined with a potion of resistance, in this case, acid resistance, just so you know.
I marked it down.
So it's not exactly 8 hit points necessarily. You just roll this typical 2d4 plus 2. Yeah, and then you met up with Tonker, and you managed to have a nice little reunion. Tonker and Winrack had a romantic sort of run across a meadow type moment with violins blaring in the background and swinging around as they embraced each other. Have you met Winrack? Have either of you, Emma? Have you?
Yeah,
seen
the
Winrack?
bone.
Yeah, the bone. Whatever.
The bone that was the name was for dragon, not to find dragons, but specifically dragon.
Someone named Dragon.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're working. I'm sure anybody who's ever done anything remotely creative has worked on something and completed 99% of it, and at the very last minute, gotten distracted and just big marker or paint streak across the canvas. Or it's essentially what happened when Tonker was trying to craft Winrack. He kind of lost his focus very briefly. Yes, and you are now on the bridge heading into. So just to put everything in context here, you have approached the exterior of the city. You're in one of the poorer slums that abut the city walls, as in many towns some of you may have seen, not necessarily Silvery Moon, where some of you are from, because that's a very enlightened and beautiful place, and it has absolutely no detrimental aspects to it whatsoever. Right? It's as close to utopia as you can find. But Waterdeep, Neverwinter, there's always going to be some poor element that can't afford to be within the protective walls of the city, and they'll be as close to the city walls as possible, even using the city walls as part of the construction of their own homes. So essentially, you've walked through that section, one of the several sections that abut the walls, and you were up against the gate and trying to. Essentially, you've just gained access to the city, and you also vouched for Tonker the Tinker, who was pulling his best "I'm a crazy, magical creator of weapons," but the guards weren't buying it because, of course, he was always handing out broken broomsticks and rusty shovels and whatnot.
Nice.
Cracker, of course, was hoping not to have to pay anything because she only had 5 gold for this magical sword that he insisted was incredibly powerful. And of course, as Yvonne said, is actually just a shovel. But he took the deal because he recognizes a good deal when he sees one. So,
But he did say it's good against undead.
well, I mean, that's what he said.
Well, hopefully.
Only one way to find out.
I guess maybe reburying them? Maybe that's
Yeah.
all it's good.
There you go.
Exactly. Exactly. That's where the undead belong, in the ground.
Here's your shovel. Get to work.
They won't bury themselves. I've tried. They don't listen to me.
Here, I'm gonna go mute for just a second.
Okay.
Weapons dealer by day, necromancer by night.
Yeah, exactly. And who is Jessamine again? Well done remembering Jessamine.
Merchant princess. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. And what is she known for exactly?
Potions and
She was an assassin somewhere, wasn't she?
She
Very
was.
well known.
yeah.
One of those things that everybody kind of knows, but it's one of those they tap the side of their nose, but they also look around fearfully when they say it type of moments, if that makes sense. Because
She
you would
also
never
has a
talk.
child.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've written that down too. I don't know why. But
Hey, and when dealing with assassins, you might have to have some leverage.
Yeah.
Nothing crystallizes attention as quickly as threatening the child of somebody you want to help from. Now, hopefully you won't get to
Maybe
that.
Maybe don't tell her that I skewered one, because that might make things worse.
A good idea.
I skewer babies when in my cups. Yeah, it's not good.
Look, you were level 1. You needed the experience to get to level 2. That was the only immediate option available to you, so you took it.
Exactly.
It was a great opportunity. Yeah.
And it was an easy kill. I mean, no
Yeah.
risk to you, really. I don't have any problems with it.
So much worse.
Well,
Defenseless people. Kill them,
that's-
level up. I'm doing this. This is now my stepping ladder.
it's XP farming. Those of you who have played with me longer know that sooner or later, karma's a bitch.
Oh no.
You're gonna meet that parent's chat or the child's parents. And be like, we've been looking for our kid everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oop. That sucks.
I don't speak your language.
Yeah.
You're gonna say
Is
that to them in common.
That's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing impaired. I can't understand you.
What did you say? What?
You're gonna have to speak up there.
Ever since I killed this child, I haven't been able to hear anything in my ears.
All the screaming.
Exactly. I was just about to say the screams made him go deaf.
Damn kids.
Damn kids. Yes. Okay. So, and you've also seen loads of dinosaurs walking around, just being used in everyday activities. Several of them are obviously beasts of burden. A few of them are, being ridden. Now, the kinds that you see are not just when they're being ridden. They're not just being ridden as typical mounts. Some of them are. You could say that they're more akin to like a camel rather than a horse. They're a bit ornately bedecked, but there are some that genuinely look exceptionally beautifully laid out. They've got shiny, shimmery, banners strewn from their heads and from their bodies. They've got beautiful, exotic paints. Some of them have numbers. Some of them have what appear to be adverts for businesses written on the side of them. Some of them even have names on the side of them. They all are genuinely very, very interesting to look at. One of the overriding features is that for the most part, except for the beasts of burden, the more beautiful ones tend to be a bit smaller. They're smaller versions of what you think you may have seen as adults, either in the jungle or on the island or roaming the streets. And they all have these riders who are seated on top of them, whether they're four-legged creatures or primarily, bipedal kinds, like some of the more carnivorous pack hunter types. And they've got a special saddle so that the riders don't really seem to fully sit down on the saddle. They sort of almost squat on the saddle. Does anybody
I was
have
gonna
proficiency
ask
in
why,
animal handling?
I think I might.
No.
Probably not. No.
I'm definitely curious about this.
Yeah.
Don't
I want
have
a dinosaur.
proficiency in it, but I do have a +5.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Not
it's some animal handling kind of a thing. You intuitively you can see that the saddle. You'd probably be able to tell that the saddle must have some special purpose, but discerning exactly what that purpose is without being an expert in animal handling and is probably a little bit beyond you. I mean, Cora kind of flies, so she doesn't really need expertise in riding beasts.
Would Dallin get a bonus because she literally has a horse? A nightmare?
Does Dallin have an explanation for why she would, besides the fact that there's a nightmare involved? Well, that's a fair point. Yep, that's a very good point. Yeah. So, saddles are exceptionally small. So let's put it that way. You think that the saddles are designed so that these, first of all, the riders themselves are exceptionally small relative to all the other riders for some reason. They span a number of races. Some of them are cat people. Some of them are humans, lizard type people. There aren't that many dwarves running around. There maybe seem to be a few lithe folks that you can't really tell from here, but maybe they could be half elves or even elves with slightly longer hair covering whatever their pointy ears might be. But you don't know for sure until you get up close. But you think that somehow the smaller saddle is certainly going to be lighter and might also give some advantage to the rider if they're trying to avoid being jostled exceptionally whilst they're riding at a high speed.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, so aside from that, there are jugglers throughout. The streets are full of people who are going about their business, generally trying to apparently buy things. They are prepared to walk around the larger beasts, but for the most part, they kind of just ignore you guys. You occasionally get the yell of, "Get out of the way, you peasants!" Or, "Excuse me, would you like to buy something? I have some very nice fruits and vegetables from the jungle." Hagglers all over the place, street hawkers, many more children and urchins coming up begging you, hands outstretched, touching you. There are also a few folks that stand around in various types of armor. Some of them seem to be dressed in similar armor to the ones you found on the bridge. Some of them are a bit more, shall we say, exotically dressed. Everything okay there?
Yeah, sorry, the maintenance guy came.
Okay. And they're wearing, sort of hide armor as opposed to anything tougher or more metallic. They've got feathers. There are a couple of folks wearing black armor, not dissimilar to the kind you saw on the ship that you were nearly boarded by on the way in. They don't seem to notice you out of the ordinary versus anybody else, but for the most part, it's clearly the case that this is a very bustling, busy area. Let's see. I'm trying to find a way to get you guys onto the map without actually putting you guys in a place where you see too much. So I'm going to just do this.
By the way, how do I update my token with the new art? Like, I have it in my character sheet bio, but...
Oh, I'll just delete the old one. Give me a sec. Because I'm about to move you guys to another page anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah. And of course, Talker is, sort of looking around. He looks like he always does. He kind of looks like he doesn't know what the hell's going on. But at the same time, he's he's very obviously looking for an opportunity to sell something. He's becoming one of the hawkers just as you walk down the street, just like hassling people, trying to sell them broken things. He even picks up a stick off the ground at one point, offers it to somebody who looks like a rich merchant. The merchant just laughs at him, bats him away, tells him he's crazy. Yeah. So we are going to be on this new page.
Hey, gotta make a living somehow.
Yes.
One way to do it.
It is one way to do it. It's not necessarily the right way to do it.
Well, that just depends on your perspective.
Yes, this is also true. So are you guys able to see this new page? Because
No.
I don't see it updating. I don't know why.
It's all black.
Yeah,
It's black.
It is black, but
frozen.
okay, fine. And frozen. But you're not seeing like an image of a street scene?
No.
No.
I'm trying to minimize it so I can see the whole thing, but it won't let me do that.
Yeah. It won't let me
Okay.
zoom in or out.
Let me see
I'm
if
just
I can.
refreshing to see if that makes a difference.
I zoomed all the way out before it froze. I don't see anything. It's just a black box.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can make one more change. I'm sure it's just something like this.
Man, I'm so sad I missed last week's game. I was so ready to I had 1 second level spell slot left, and I was going to use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp to try and stop them if they ran away. I was so ready for it.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, in fairness, everyone did try to give them an alternative, a non-violent solution, but at some point it became obvious that these guys were the ones that you saw were the front. They were the front of a larger band of primarily ninja types, adult ninja types. So they weren't really kids. The kids were the ones on the ground. So can you guys see this image now?
I can zoom in and out, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's all black.
I see an
Still-
image, yeah.
You see an image. What do you see?
Mhm. I see a giant brachiosaur
Yeah.
and a town, and yeah.
Okay.
I'll try
so
refreshing then.
yeah, so try refreshing. So that's probably what it is. I'll try refreshing on my dummy game. Because ever since they changed we talked about this before. They keep trying to improve it.
When you say refreshing, do you mean actually go out the game and come back in?
I just click the little refresh button in the upper left-hand corner, so it reloads the image or reloads the page.
Oh, I actually refreshed the whole game.
In your web browser, you ought to see like the back arrow in the upper left-hand corner
Yeah.
underneath. So
The
there ought to
little
be a little
cycle one.
circle. Yeah, the one that's a circle.
Well, now I have a half gray and half black.
Yeah, me too.
map.
Half gray, half black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the gray, it should be partly visible because there's an image.
Here, I will
Yeah, now
post.
now I can see.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Now I can
Now
see.
you see it.
Yep.
Huh, that's interesting. So I had to move it to the maps for some reason. That's bizarre. Okay. Well, anyway, so that's what you're looking at. There is a street scene, and as I said, and it looks very, very, it's bustling, loads of people, everybody's having a wonderful time, or they're very busy, or they're busy trying to make money. So, they're all kind of going on their merry way. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we need to figure out where Jessamine is and if we can somehow have an audience with her.
Meridian would like to eventually go find the Wharf Master.
Weren't we told to find Jessamine's foreman?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yes. Well, one doesn't
Uh,
simply rock up into a city and then immediately demand, as a complete stranger, an audience with the the leading lights of the city. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but I don't think it's going to work very well.
That's how you did that. Well, that makes sense now.
Sorry, you did do that?
No.
You tried that in real life?
Just like walk into the Capitol, be like, I want to see the president now.
Is the pictures just supposed to be black and white
No.
on the actual map? Okay, that's what mine looks like.
That's what mine looks like too.
Sorry, the picture? What do you mean the picture?
It's just a
Like-
picture of like a dinosaur.
yeah.
Yeah, so right now you're just looking at a picture of a dinosaur. We've got
Cool.
yeah, I've got
Like
street
that.
map maps for combat and things, but this is a large bustling city, so unless you've got something specific, I won't put you on a local map. You kind of get the idea. There's some incremental moments as you're walking down the street. It just looks really foreign, right? There are scenes that look like a typical village of this kind of a culture. If you guys can see this, there's like a little arch. It seems to be
Nice.
a prominent part of town. There are obviously street sellers, as I said, spices, fruits, dried things that survive in the humidity and the heat. You've also got, other slightly more Charlton-only type moments, as you walk down the street, these gigantic palanquins on the back of dinosaurs, in place of, for example, say, humans or even slaves carrying the rich and powerful. And it's always just sort of a dance to avoid being squashed or pooped on from a great height.
Meridian is clutching her coins at all times.
She's what?
Like clutching at her coins at all times. Like every
Oh.
5 seconds, like tapping to make sure they're still there.
Oh, right.
She's
coins are
uncomfortable with the
now-
amount of people around.
Yeah, I think we've learned.
Yeah, the first time once you get pickpocketed, you're always careful after that. That's absolutely true. My friends, this rather supercilious-looking fellow with a beard and a turban comes up to you, and you look a bit overwhelmed or lost. Perhaps I could direct you.
You a tour guide?
Oh, no, I am not a tour guide. I am simply a humble merchant of figs.
But what's in it for you?
Well, perhaps you'd like to buy some figs. And he hands out a bag. They look like very plump figs.
I'm more of the meat type, but maybe one of my companions would like one.
I'll try one.
Figs.
And he immediately shoves the figs in somebody else's face. Did you just sneeze on my figs? No, now you must buy the whole bag.
It's the allergies. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. They're very good figs. Even after you sneeze on them, they still taste good. Here, 5 good
Well,
pieces.
thank you. Sure. Here. Yeah.
Oh, you're very generous. Thank you very much. No haggling. You're obviously not from Port Nyanzaru.
Is it that obvious?
A word to the wise. Always haggle. It is a national pastime. No one ever pays full price.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Pays full price.
Of course. Of course, they're very, very, very good figs. They are easily worth at least 4.5 gold pieces. So I only gave you a little markup.
Well, that's very generous. Thank you.
Oh, very kind. Would you like directions?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we don't know where we're going.
We're looking for Jesamine's foreman.
Foraman.
Shh. And he immediately hunches down and looks left and right in a very sort of, deliberately careful way. One does not simply speak out the name of one of these merchant princes without some specific reason or need. And in general company, everyone listens to everything. You know the saying, they have figs have ears.
So Tina's gonna look down at her fig.
Yeah.
Roll perception.
Okie dokie.
But what if we do have a specific or general need?
It's a good perception.
Tina thinks one of them does actually look a bit like an ear.
Oh, gross.
Like a nice brown dried up ear.
She's gonna eat that one first.
Cora's gonna heave.
Meridian looks a little disturbed.
We checked for
Oh,
magic.
Meridian looks disturbed.
Yeah. Fruit shouldn't look like meat.
Definitely cannibal calling the other one cannibal. Roll
Yeah,
a
right?
Constitution save.
Oh, word. Okay. Hold on. Constitution save +3. 13.
So the first thing you notice is that figs are quite, dried figs especially are quite meaty, right? They're not fibrous in the same way that meat is, but they're dense, right? This one is very sweet, but it doesn't taste like a fig.
What does it taste like?
The closest thing you can think of would be, so let's do this. This is a nature check.
Oh, okay.
Tastes like an ear.
Tastes like human flesh.
Well, the question is, how much experience do you have with human ears, right? I mean, it's like, this is definitely a good vintage human ear. I think it might have been bottled in the Spine of the World region in circa 1472, which was a very good year for ears, apparently.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of ears going on with art history, to be honest. There's not.
The best thing you can think of is you think this might be something that is meant to taste like flesh, but isn't, but is possibly from the fungi family.
Fungi family. Okay. All right.
But it genuinely looks like an ear, and it's the same color as all the figs.
Did we ask the merchant's name? This guy? Did we
I
ask
don't know.
that? Did I miss it?
No,
No,
he
we didn't
approached
ask.
us.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he approached us like, "Hey, I am Stephen Hawking. How are you?" And I just missed it.
Man, I didn't know you had this kind of side hobby.
So, can I just ask you, Maddie, did you think of Stephen Hawking just randomly, or because he's hawking something? Because that's that's a really good play on words. If you had done it on purpose.
I wish I had done it on purpose.
Hello, I am here to sell goods. I am an expert in hawking merchandise. My name is Stephen.
I don't know why Stephen Hawking was the first one to my mind. That's funny. I love it. Okay.
Well, now his name is Stephen.
Obviously, my name is Stephen Hawking. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, gosh. Did he have a name?
He does have a name. Of course he has a name.
Okay, I just want to make sure that he wasn't
name's
just like some... His name's what?
His name's Bob.
Oh, of course.
Very ethnic.
No, his name isn't Bob. Bob is the name I will use whenever you meet an NPC who you really should not be spending too much time with. as Joe will attest.
Mhm.
My name. Oh, sorry. So, are you actually asking him? All you did was ask your party members if you actually asked his first name,
Yeah,
right? You
sorry.
haven't asked.
Be like, you know what? This is good. What's your name? I don't want to just like call you some random thing. I want to call you your name.
Well, of course, you should always address someone by their proper name. This
Of
is
course.
only good manners. Olantu.
Olantu?
The emphasis is on the Olan. Olantu.
Okay. Olantu.
Lantu.
Very good. Yes, very good. You have a good ear. And then he looks down in your little pouch of figs.
Yikes.
They're flowing today.
It is going to be that kind of session. I can feel it.
I assume it's quite humid here, right?
Yes, so this is a good point. In my description earlier, no one except for the Zhentarim and some of the Flaming Fist are wearing heavy armor. And Cora, normally Cora looks like, a retired Brazilian model. In
I'm a
this
sweaty mess.
in this environment, she looks like a hot mess. She like her hair is like plastered to her forehead. She's chafing underneath, right? Because like, what's Cora wearing? What kind of armor is it again? Is it
Chain. Chain.
Chainmail? So chainmail, as you guys probably know, is not just one suit of armor like plate mail is. It's actually got several layers underneath, including essentially a whole set of padded armor underneath. So it's not only heavy; it's also incredibly thick. Right? It's like
And
it's designed
hot.
and hot. It's got several layers to protect against different kinds of penetration. And so Cora is literally just sweltering. Her feet in her new stiletto boots are actually swimming in a little soup of bodily fluids collecting in the toe. And everywhere she goes, she can just bits sticking to her skin, like her thighs and her forearms and her back. At some point, Cora realizes that she's potentially going to be suffering from some exhaustion if this keeps up, if she doesn't make any further changes.
You look a little warm there, Cora.
Yeah. It's a bit warm. I think I might
I'm
have
gonna
to
just,
take
like-
this. Go on.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna like blow some cool breath at her at her face.
Roll your damage.
Better.
Not a full breath. Just
Well, as I understand it, you don't have that ability to just blow a cool breath, do you? And that's like prestidigitation, isn't it?
What?
Do you have
No,
prestidigitation? Or
no,
gust?
I just mean like just like breathing in her general direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
on her.
actually. I'm not exhaling forcefully.
Mm-hmm. It does nothing.
I thought that counts.
It's just as hot as the air around.
It is literally just as hot as all the other air.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So you are new to Port Nyanzaru. Perhaps I can give you some guidance. Are you looking for a place to stay, or are you potentially here to gamble? Many people come from the mainland in order to buy a dinosaur.
Didn't we
No.
just tell you what we're here for?
Yeah, we wanna.
I am so
Yes.
sorry. Ever since I lost one ear, I haven't been able to hear very well. And you suddenly notice he's missing his left ear.
Ooh.
It is a terrible
gross.
fig drying accident. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, there goes an ear. Oh well. No matter.
I'm gonna look at Satina.
She's gonna turn a very light shade of green.
Are you all right? You look a bit unwell. Perhaps you should have another fig.
Nope. Thank you. I'm fine. I think I'll be
try
fine
and-
with these figs here.
Woo.
Suit
We
yourself.
could try and find a place to stay and sort of, maybe even get more information there.
It's not a bad idea.
Maybe you could give us some general direction towards they who shall not be named.
Oh, yes. What you need to do is find your way to Golden Throne,
Golden Throne.
also known as the Hall of Gold.
Fancy.
It is. It is where all of the merchant princes hold court, although they are not usually all there at the same time.
Is it easy to get into?
Do you mean physically?
Do you mean spiritually?
Oh, no, not spiritually. If anything, it is a soulless place of mercantile interests. But it is also the place where much commerce is conducted, and everyone there at least pays homage to Joaquin, the goddess of mercantile interests and wealth creation. Personally, I like one of our local deities, but beggars cannot be choosers. And the old Omnian ways die hard.
Now they're config merchants, apparently.
I'm sorry, could you speak up? I cannot hear you.
Sorry, I think I just swallowed a fly.
Yes, many, many insects here. And he swats at something imaginary, like he suddenly notices that there are flies around.
Those dinosaurs are quite cool.
They are quite
Perhaps I can give you a bit of guidance.
Sure.
And he points beyond some of the stucco buildings that you can see. Beyond this area, further to the north, there are several large hills. Most of the great and good either live or reside or do business up there. They have their estates for the merchant princes. There are many temples to the various gods, such as Joaquin and Gond, the gnomish god of invention. And of course, there is Golden Throne. We are near the main gate, and that area is walled off. So you will have to go through another walled entrance. In order to access that, you would have to have a reason to go in. The only time you can go and see a merchant prince without having some specific business reason is if you are invited, and that typically only happens to people of importance who have arrived with letters of recommendation, or perhaps, I suppose it's possible. Are you planning to enter the dinosaur races?
Yes.
Uh,
I
Sounds
heard one
great.
yes, and I heard one yeah.
I'm in.
It sounds fun.
Don't
That
we
sounds
have a
like
letter
fun.
of recommendation?
we
Yeah,
do.
but it's from that guy, and I don't know if it's like it's gonna hold very high.
Maybe
I'm
it's
not
better
sure.
than nothing.
You have a letter of recommendation? This is very rare. May I see it?
Sure.
No.
I hand it over.
No.
No,
And he
don't
looks at it and
hand
goes,
over.
bread, carrots, eggs.
Oh, other side. Other
This is
side.
not a letter of recommendation.
Turn it over.
And he turns it over. What is this? This could be written by anybody. This could be written by a child. I
Didn't
could
he
have
sign
written
his
this.
name?
We have a key to the city with
He
it.
also gave me a key.
That's proof.
Yeah, he gave me a key.
Does it unlock anything?
No, and I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense for a key to not have a lock. It
That
doesn't
makes
make
no
any
sense at all. That makes
Right?
no sense
Thank
at all.
you.
I hope you didn't pay anything for it.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Just some blood.
I would not even give one fig. You gave blood.
It was figurative speech. Or literal. You know what?
So,
I don't
sorry,
know.
did you say you wanted more figs? And he pulls out another packet of figs for you.
Again, meat person.
But you said figs.
I didn't say I wanted figs.
Oh, you said figuratively. Yes, I
Yes.
see. I see where the misunderstanding came from. Yes. And then he grumbles as he puts it away. Getting me all excited about selling more figs. So, in this part of the city, we have several other areas, including most of the merchant concerns. There is, of course, a further area further south, and that is closer to the fishmongers and
Well, how do we enter these dragon races?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fun.
Dragon? He said
Well-
dinosaur.
Or
Dinosaur.
dinosaur. Sorry, dinosaur races. Dragon races would be insane. But dinosaur races.
awesome.
you are thinking of the wrong movie.
So-
We do not have intellectual property rights for that one.
I think our first step should be getting a dinosaur to be able to enter the races. Or do they have like rentals?
You wish to rent a dinosaur? What are you, barbarians?
If you only need it,
Yeah.
if you only need it for the race, I can help with that.
Well, the race doesn't take more than sort of 30, 40 minutes, depending on how fast you go.
Okay, then I can fix that.
And he starts to draw a little. He takes his walking stick, which has a very nice looking semi-precious gem on it. Anybody a gem expert? It doesn't look super.
Tina?
Art history, yeah.
But dwarf.
It's,
But dwarf.
yeah, but that's a bit dwarfist, really. You know, all dwarves know everything about gems. Really, come on. Like,
Hey,
know.
you did give me like
A check in the
advantage in the past. So if anybody's dwarfist.
But anyway, it's a purple gem. It's about the size of about his thumb, but it's in diameter.
I think
But
it
he's
might
got a
be
walking
ruby.
stick, and he starts to poke around in a pile of fresh dinosaur dung, and he starts to draw out sort of a rough outline. Hang on, what's it? I want to do
there's
this.
a better
so
way
that,
to do this.
huh?
I was just saying to him, I feel like there's a better way to do this. Don't you have a map?
A map. I am a merchant of figs, not a merchant of maps. Do you see anything around me that looks like I sell maps?
I'm not judging a book by its cover.
I don't sell books either.
Apparently.
I don't understand. Where you come from, does everybody sell maps and books all at the same time? And
Maybe.
figs?
Possibly. I don't
What
know.
do you mean maybe? You either know or you don't know.
I don't know. So maybe.
And he
I
looks
don't
at the
know.
rest of you like he just kind of shrugs. This is hopeless. So, we are here. And he points at this area that he starts to draw out towards the lower left-hand corner. You see there's a gate and some shrubbery. If you look a little bit further, there is Golden Throne. Can you guys see the map on the actual map page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That'll be a little bit easier. This is where we are standing here. And this is the main souk, the Grand Souk. anything you could possibly imagine can be bought or purchased or sold here. With the exception of dinosaurs, because, let's be honest, nobody really wants to sell dinosaurs in town. That you get up here outside the city walls to the north. As I said, this whole area is where all the rich people live. Temples, 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 temples. You get the idea. The city is spread around a harbor. We are protected, by a dragon turtle.
So I've heard.
Have you seen it?
No.
Deception.
24.
Really? This is most unusual. Very few people get into the city through the... Did you come by sea?
Yeah.
Roll deception again.
But we did come by sea.
Oh, you came by sea. Oh, I thought you said you didn't. Okay. But nobody comes into by sea without seeing the dragon turtle.
I don't know, man. Maybe he was busy helping someone else.
I feel like this is not a good relationship. But this is the harbor. This is the royal docks, and this, of course, is the commercial docks. Down here, we have the fishmongers. And this is the Grand Colosseum. Many fights are fought there, sometimes to the death, sometimes just to first blood, but it is a good sporting venue, in case you have time. The dragon race itself, however, runs throughout the city, and begins at one point throughout the entire city, excluding this area we are in, but circles most of the highborn areas and through the marketplace and the souk, and ends down at Grand Colosseum, where the final awards are given. The winner of the dragon race very often gets a chance to meet with the merchant prince of his or her choice. And if you were so inclined, you could potentially ask for an audience with you-know-who.
Well then. So, but what I'm hearing here is we have to watch out for stampedes at any point during the day.
No. Of course, the dragon races are very well announced in advance. You know when they're going to be. The next one is not for a few days.
That's good.
But if you were walking around on the street during a race, then of course, you do so at your own peril. And interference with the race is strictly forbidden.
Interesting.
If you get caught. If you don't,
I
Well,
wink at
being in the
Dallin.
race.
I was like, maybe we should go look at some wink dinosaurs.
Yeah, we can do that.
Somebody else wanted to say something?
Well, I definitely want to be in this race, so I'm up for whatever.
So we should probably find a place to stay, since it's not for a few days.
This is a very good poop map. Can you show us where an inn is?
And you said you wanted to speak to the harbor master. His
Yes.
office is located here.
Thank you. I'll do that within the next day or so.
So I think maybe we need to find somewhere to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, we know we have our dinosaur. Maybe we ought to find out if we need to register anywhere for the race.
Yes. Registration can also be conducted near the Grand Souk.
I would like to look at the dinosaurs too, just because. I think that'd be fun.
Really cool.
Well, I would not say that it is fun so much as it is exciting. You must be careful, though. They are not all trained. Some of them are wild beasts, and like any wild beast, they can be quite dangerous.
Of course.
Do you know anything about dinosaurs?
I mean, we've encountered some before,
Yes.
but not here.
Well, I mean, ultimately, they are all, broadly speaking, very animalistic, just like you would expect. But of course, the carnivores are extremely aggressive. Do you have a dinosaur?
You could say that.
I just said it.
Meridian's
Where is your
sighing and
dinosaur?
walking. She's just sighing and walking to the back of the group.
In this dinosaur race, are there riders as well, or just the dinosaurs?
Oh, there are different kinds of races, but the only one where you can go and win an audience with a merchant prince revolves around a rider. Otherwise, it is not really that difficult. You just set the dinosaur on its own, and it runs. Not much skill in that.
Does it have to be a particular dinosaur, or?
Oh yes, there are definitely rules. Because it is in the city, the dinosaurs that are allowed to race must not be full adults. Otherwise, it would be far too dangerous. They must be juveniles. And there are specific limitations on species allowed. Let's see, I think I may even have a program. And he fishes around in one of his pockets. I think you will find it posted up near the betting office. Big Honker is always the perennial favorite.
Big. What now?
Honker. You know, and he reaches out and grabs your snout and he pinches it. Honk, honk.
Now, that time I did almost forcefully exhale. I'm just gonna snort instead.
And a little bit of mucus comes out and coats his hand. He goes, oh, yeah. And then he wipes it on his outfit, and then he puts his hand away. And he fishes out, and he puts his hand away and then fishes into a pouch full of figs, and he takes one out and he eats it.
Gross, man. You should really wash your hands.
What do you mean? This is from your nose. Is your nose not clean? What are you
Meridian
trying to tell me?
is crumbling on the inside.
Is she diseased? And he
Probably
immediately
not.
leans backward.
I don't know at this point. I need to go sit in the shade.
Well, point us to the nearest place to stay, which hopefully has a tavern attached.
Oh, there are many places you can stay. In the market ward, there are definitely going to be some nicer places. In the harbor ward, there are some ones for the sailor types, if you like that kind of thing. A bit more rowdy. Unfortunately, you cannot go to the merchant's quarters or to the high city without an invitation, as I said. But if you did, then you could stay in one of the grand hotels.
Well, I don't know about you ladies, but I can't afford much, so probably going to be the harbor area for me.
I am
Yeah.
perfectly okay with the harbor area.
Yeah, same here. How about we register on the way through?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so glad that you are able to find your way through town. Perhaps you will find that my instructions were very helpful and you would like to buy another bag of figs. And he produces another bag of figs.
I will buy a single fig.
No. I cannot break up the set.
How much for
Well,
a bag
then I
of
will not.
figs?
6 gold pieces.
I'll give you 2.
Ah, you are learning. Ah, I have a special deal today. 2 bags for 12 gold pieces.
I only want the 1 bag, and I'll give you 2 gold pieces.
Oh, let's stop haggling. 7 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll give you 1 gold piece for a bag.
No. You're going the wrong way. It should be at least 8 gold pieces by now.
So are you.
What? No, I'm obviously going the right way. I'm teaching you how to haggle.
Mm-hmm. 1 gold piece for a bag.
Oh, let's just call it 5 gold pieces and be done with it.
2 gold pieces.
No. That's far too cheap. Look at the quality of these.
They look like ears.
What? You found my ear? Wait, where? Give it back. And he starts fishing through the bag that he'd already sold to Satina. Where is it? Where is it? You! Did you eat it? And he starts putting a finger into Satina's mouth. Give it back! I need my ear!
Please take your hand out of my mouth.
I can't hear you.
Take your finger out of her mouth then.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You're not a
And then he
dentist.
puts his palm out, expecting you to basically produce an ear.
She's just gonna look at his hand and be like, "Dude, if I ate it, it's already down there. I don't know what you want from me."
For pain and suffering, another 5 gold pieces.
Yeah, not happening. 2 gold pieces for a bag of figs.
Only if you buy 2 bags.
For 4 gold pieces.
Fine.
Okay.
And he produces 2 bags.
And I give him 4 gold pieces.
And he takes the 4 gold pieces. Good doing business with you. Good luck. And I hope you win the race. What are you going to call yourselves? You need a name for your dinosaur.
Oh,
Roadrunner.
Roadrunners. Yes.
Roadrunner. Yes, I shall keep an eye out for Roadrunner. Very good. What are the odds, do you think?
Meet.
Anybody to win? He starts scribbling down his hand. Anybody to win except Roadrunner. Very good. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
And as he walks away, you see him pull his hair back a little bit, and you realize he actually has no ears.
Oh
my gosh.
Wait, how did it?
Ew.
Is he a lip reader?
No,
You can still hear even if you don't have ears.
Yeah, exactly. You
So.
just ask Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield. Doesn't have any ears, just holes.
And he walks off and disappears into the crowd.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Harbor Inn? Is that where we're going, or are we going to register first?
I think we should register
Yeah.
and then go to the inn.
So I just want to clarify. Dallin, are you gonna turn into a dinosaur? Is that what's happening?
I don't know yet. I have a couple of plans, so.
Okay. Yeah, sure. The only problem, they said it has to be an adolescent. You're not adolescent, right? So, would you turn into an adolescent?
I think so. I think I can do that. I haven't tried, but I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I have faith in you. Yeah.
My question is, who's going to ride you?
Hopefully with
Has to be somebody
consent.
small.
Yeah, I like this one.
Nobody rides anybody in this game without consent. We respect everybody.
Of course. Absolutely. Ooh, I don't know if that wouldn't be animal handling because it's your friend.
Friend
I don't know.
handling?
Well, I
Friend
mean,
handling.
I definitely have failed my friend handling skills skill check a couple of times in my life. I really don't want to go out with that girl. I'm totally going to go out with that girl.
If I do turn into a dinosaur, you just need to hold tight so he can tie you to me or something.
Still animal handling.
Oh, no.
Well, it is animal handling. I mean, you know, just like it is riding an animal is actually a skill, right? So even if yes, part of it is giving instructions so that the animal knows what to do, but at the same time, it's you know, there's a physical aspect, as you all probably know, to riding horses and staying, you know, seated on top of a horse, even with a saddle, when the horse is in full gallop.
Yeah, but if we tie the person that rides me to the saddle or something, they just have to hold on.
Oh, you're literally gonna physically tie somebody. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a possibility. Yeah, all right. We'll see how that goes.
Excited. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, hope so.
Who's gonna ride her though?
I
Mm,
mean, I'm pretty big. I'd be too big.
Well, we can find that out.
Unless we could find a potion of shrink person.
Now, does Cracker, a barbarian who has admittedly a ton of barista experience, know anything about a potion of shrink person?
Oh, that's true. Well, maybe. I mean, I've been in the bar a lot. I would talk to a lot of people about different kinds of drinks. And then I'm sure I would have served somebody magical at some point. In
I'll
my
give you
many jobs. In
I'll
my
give you
many,
props
many
for
jobs.
I'll give you props for trying, but technically your background is folk hero.
Yeah, it's true.
If
I
you
know
were
how
an
to ride a
alchemist.
fox.
Yeah. But you do have doesn't a folk hero have expertise in land vehicles?
Yeah, I
So
do.
not, you know, land vehicles being primarily carts
Right.
and
Like I
wagons.
can drive a
So
wagon.
yeah, you could certainly double as a carter if you wanted to.
Mhm.
So not completely outside the realm of possibility that you could, you know, handle yourself in this
Maybe.
case.
Yeah.
Other options might be, for example, somebody who could pretend to be riding, but not really.
Hmm.
Anybody in that camp? Joe? Okay, I'll let you guys figure it out. So you're going to the Harbor Master, are you? Oh, you're signing up first for the race.
yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah, so you follow the winding roads, you know, dodging street traffic, dodging gigantic thunder lizards, as they're called, and you end up at what appears to be a combination betting office and race management administrators. There are a number of people lined up at the betting office, but for the most part, the race management office it's open, and there's one really, really grossly overweight man sitting behind a tiny little desk, to the point where his belly is literally on top of the desk, and he seems to be leaning back in a very, very small chair that appears to be threatening to break and collapse under his weight at any moment, and he looks like he's got his eyes closed.
Oh.
Hello?
Ahem.
Yeah. What you want?
We are looking
Want to
to
register for a race?
Yeah.
Register? You mean place a bet?
No.
No.
Participate.
And he looks at all of you. Who? You're going to race. You know this is a dinosaur race. You know those big creatures out there?
We're aware.
We're not just beautiful.
Sorry, what?
We're not just beautiful. We've got some mad skills.
Mad skills.
Skills. And he looks down on a little, what appears to be a racing form. Mad skills. Mad skills. No, we don't have a dinosaur named Mad Skills in the upcoming race. Mad skills. We've got banana candy.
Banana candy.
I like the name. But we want to register.
Yeah.
Bone Cruncher. Ooptow's favorite. Grung Stomper, Scarback, Nasty Boy, Jungle Princess. Is that you? Mountain Thunder? Oh. So you want to register as Mad
Roadrunner.
Skills?
No, Roadrunner.
No.
Mad Skills.
Roadrunners.
I've already written it in the form. I can't change it now. Mad Skills.
You are actively writing it.
And he shows you that he's already skills in pencil.
So rub it out and put it in pen as Roadrunners.
I don't have any racers. Sorry.
Spit on it. Write a new line.
Use a new form.
No, this is the official form. It can't be changed.
I wish
Unless
I
you
had my
want to
backpack. I'd
enter
probably have an
two.
eraser in there.
You can enter 2 in there.
I mean, maybe, but we'd have to purchase another dinosaur. Although it would raise our probability of winning.
That would probably be easier.
Easier than you filling out a new form and
Yeah, exactly.
destroying that one.
You could see it would take me forever to do this.
Right.
So, what's it gonna be? Mad Skills and Roadrunner.
Oh,
Is that one word or 2 or
no,
3?
we don't have another thing to enter just yet. Just Mad Skills for now, I guess.
Okay, Mad Skills. And he writes it again. Oh, there you go. Now you got 2.
What?
Why do we have two?
Because I wrote it again.
Why did you write it again?
Because you told me to.
No,
Nobody
we didn't.
told you
What? No,
to.
we didn't.
And he's looking down at his form. He goes, "Yeah, you did. See, I wrote it twice."
Is this guy for real? He's got to be messing with us.
Somebody just grab that form and tear it up.
I mage
Maybe I'll do
hand.
that.
I would like to mage hand the form away.
You're gonna just mage hand. You're just gonna take the administrative.
Just gonna,
form away?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I guess it's a. I mean, what you want to? I know what the stats are in Mage Hand, but you want to post it for everybody?
Yeah. Maybe sneakily if I can. Well, he's holding it up, showing us.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Mage Hand, a sneaky Mage Hand, actually is Arcane Trickster.
Oh.
So, now, if you read the description, it says you can carry no more than 10 pounds, which, according to the rules, is equivalent to less than 1 strength. So I'll let you go ahead, and even though technically it's an attack and you wouldn't be able to do it, I'll let you go ahead and try to grapple it.
With a strength check?
Sure.
Alright.
You can use your...
3.
Oh, no. So it's not a strength... So, okay. So it's not a strength check for you. It would be a strength check for your mage hand. So it's actually your whatever your spellcasting modifier is. Not the proficiency bonus, but the modifier itself.
So charisma.
And he's got a... Yeah. Charisma would be fine. Okay. So... Yep. Go ahead and roll the opposing. Maddie, why don't you do it?
Okie dokie.
Roll bad, roll bad.
That's a 7.
Hey, give that back! That's official race business. You can't take that.
I'm drifting it over. I assume he's too big to actually chase me to get it.
He gets up, and as he stands up, the little desk is actually stuck to his gut. And so he walks toward you, and the desk is actually stuck between several folds of fat. Hey.
I'm gonna, scribble it out and put Roadrunner. I'm like, oh, hey, look at that. It says Roadrunner.
Do you have a writing implement?
Hold on.
Hey, you can do whatever whatever you want within the rules.
Let's see.
We don't just pull that whole, you can make stuff up
I'm going
crap.
to accidentally take a torch out and set light to it and let the paper be lit by the torch.
Accidentally
I'm
take a
gonna
torch
drop
out.
it. It's gonna sting my finger.
That's official business. You can't do that. You're all disqualified. Get out of the office.
Oh no, the consequences of our actions.
Exactly.
I mean, we can write you a new one.
It takes a lot of effort to write that. And he shows you a
we'll
blank
write
one.
it then.
Like
Let us write
lines that he's obviously drawn using a ruler and but the forms cost money to print and it takes time and I've got to go down to the printers and then I've got to explain to my boss why I need a new form.
But she's
Only one
she's an
form?
art history teacher. She could do
It's
it.
a lot of hassle.
I'm
And I'm a
gonna,
very busy man.
I'm gonna
You
put
know.
2 gold on the desk and say, is this okay? Will this reimburse you for the damage on the form?
He looks down at the desk that's still attached to his waist and is floating 3 feet off the ground. And he tilts backward until the 2 gold pieces disappear inside his open shirt. And
Nice.
you think probably goes into his belly button, which is so enormous because of his size. Feels a bit light.
I'll toss 2 in of my own gold.
So will I.
And then he swings it around to everybody else.
The Tina's not putting anything in there. She's just gonna look down at him like, what?
And he jiggles himself so that you can hear the gold coins jingling in his belly button.
Definitely sounds like he has enough.
I'm just going to
And
pull
you
my
need a
great
cough
axe
drop?
out, lean on it.
I'm tossing 2 more in for Satina's sake.
Cute.
Oh, I guess that'll do. And then he pulls out another form from inside his shirt. You can see that it's a bit damp.
Who?
And he starts writing in pencil. Oh, Ooptow's favorite banana candy. Mad skills.
Oh my god.
God.
There you go.
You know what? Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. It's
Mad
fine. It's fine. It's
skills.
fine.
Remember us when we're famous.
Sure I will. Absolutely.
You seem to have a great memory, remembering all those names by yourself. Wouldn't put it past you.
Well, I have a lot of responsibility. It helps to have a good memory. Not just a
Certainly.
pretty face,
Obviously,
And as he
you have
laughs, he
definitely earned
jingles.
this.
Now, you know the rules, though, right?
Give us a refresher.
Oh, I had so much to do today. Fine. So, you can either race an Allosaurus, a Deinonychus, a Dimetrodon, a Hadrosaurus, a Triceratops, or a Tyrannosaurus. Any of the carnivores cannot be any older than 2-year juveniles.
Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, you know, the
Rex?
ones with the really big teeth and the really small arms.
A Dinocycus as well, you said.
Deinonychus.
Nicus. Those guys are quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fastest ones are usually the T-Rexes, but Allosauruses are pretty fast too. Triceratops also has to be young because, you know, they're obviously quite dangerous. And they're fast, if you get them. The Deinonychus is usually pretty fast. The slower ones are the Dimetrodons and the Hadrosaurs, but they're pretty easy to handle. So that's the trade-off. If you want to buy one, the best for you if you're a little bit less experienced, which I'm guessing by your outfits and the fact that you don't know the race rules, you're gonna be in that camp.
So you'd
No
say
offense.
T-Rex and Allos are more towards the top, aggressive, harder to handle, and then moves down from there towards the friendlier ones.
Yes. Are you alright? Did you swallow a fly? There are lots of them around here.
Yeah,
Protein. Kind of.
absolutely.
Oh, I'll take a fig any day.
Ah,
Yeah, well, here you go. And I'll hand him a bag of figs.
Oh, that's great. I really needed some more fiber. And he just
Clearly.
dumps the whole bag in his mouth.
Figs are quite large. What?
He's got a big mouth.
Meridian is disturbed.
Well, we know this.
Yeah, oversharing, really. So, are you going to bet on yourselves to win? Otherwise, if you just want to enter, the entry fee is 25 gold pieces. You could potentially win up to a prize of 150, depending on what the other bets are, but and how many other dinosaurs there are in the race. If you come in second or third, you can get a smaller purse. Obviously, nothing for anybody who comes in after that.
Okay, I'll give him the 25.
Funny coins, these. Huh. Where'd you get
Commodity.
these?
They're just normal gold pieces.
So one thing you know is that every region has its own currency, and sometimes you even have cities that print their own currency. And as far as I recall, Cora has money from all over the place, including some things that are a little bit verboten.
Isn't that the platinum and electrum?
It is.
But wasn't that part of the party's
it-
stuff?
Well, yes, but you're in the same party, technically.
Because I'm giving him gold pieces from my stash as opposed to
That's fine.
platinum and electrum.
Yeah. So just to be clear, you're talking about the original platinum from the temple. There was also a second find of some platinum. You may not remember it. It was a smaller cache, but it was part of another group, part of another cache that you guys picked up not too long ago.
I have some
In the
platinum coins with snake motif from the temple of Lolth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you, Henrietta. Exactly. So, well. And he bites down on it. I guess it's gold. You know, technically, you're supposed to go to the money changers if you're going to use currency from outside the region here.
Good to know.
I mean, you're so qualified with your position, though.
Look, it's not my call. It's the rules. ever since we managed to kick out the Omnians, we don't want any of their pernicious influence, so everybody has to change money. Otherwise, you know what it's like. It keeps people from being bribed by these colonial influences, you see. I'm going to have to change this money at a fee. So you can either give me the extra or you can do it yourself and come back.
I'll toss him 2 extra gold coins.
Fee's 25%.
Ooh, that's steep.
It's not really, though. Historically, it can be up to 25, 50%, depending on where you go. There's a very famous story. Some entrepreneurial Italian or Jewish bankers who they figured out that the Byzantine Empire wasn't really keen on, I think it was Theodora, who was at one point a consort, who became elevated to an empress. And of course, all the rulers had their faces printed on the money, and the gold coins that had a face of a woman were considered less valuable, even though they had the same weight. And so the locals didn't want to use it, so they'd always try to trade it away. And eventually, it got to the point where they could trade it. They were trading it away at a discount to the real value. So these other people would just buy them, melt them down, and then reprint them and capture the arbitrage. A helpful tip in history.
In which case, I'll toss him 6 more coins for the 25%.
And a quarter.
Fine, and a quarter.
All right. Yep. Okay. So you are in for one. What did you say your dinosaur was again?
T-Rex, probably.
Oh. Calm down.
Hey, you said you had a dinosaur. You don't know what it is?
I haven't seen a juvenile Allosaurus, have I?
You can roll a nature check.
Let's see.
You haven't seen a juvenile Tyrannosaurus yet.
No.
Definitely not, because
Probably
the only
not.
one you saw was a full-on adult.
Yeah. Probably haven't seen them.
Well, maybe you did, but maybe you didn't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can roll for each of the individual ones to see if you've seen them. Because the Hadrosaurus, Dimetrodon, and Deinonychus, I don't think we've discussed. You've seen Allosaurus and Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus, but not young ones. So the possibility that you may have seen one just on the street and noticed it, it's definitely a possibility. But why don't you roll for each of them, and then you can choose which one you would like to try to be.
But would they have juvenile Allosauruses at the place where they sell dinosaurs? So I can go and look at them?
I mean, you're asking the DM. The DM's going to tell you, have you been there yet?
No, I can ask the dude.
I think
So
we should go
you want
see
to
the
buy a
dinosaurs.
dinosaur? Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, just head on down to the dinosaur mart.
Yeah, do they have juvenile Allosauruses and T-Rexes there? Do you know?
Well, they also store it's also the stable for most of the racers. So if you wanted to see one, you could probably find, let's see, which one is Big Honker's the T-Rex. Bone Cruncher. He's an Allosaurus.
Okay. Do I know what kind of CR a juvenile would be?
At this point, we're kind of metagaming a little bit. So
Yeah, but-
why don't we... Yeah. Why don't we all take a little break? I'm going to take a quick break as well. But then, Henrietta, you and I can have a quick chat on the side.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
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 All right. All right. So, if everybody else is back, I think we are all back. If anybody else is ready,
Mhm.
if everybody else is ready, I should say. Everybody here, Joe.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm not Joe, but I'm
Yep.
here.
I was going to say, Joe, you sound a bit different all of a sudden.
Bit different. Yeah, I'm here. I couldn't get onto my Discord to unmute myself. I was
Okay.
being a bit of a spack with my mouse.
No problem. Maddie? Maddie, are you there? Oh, she's still muted. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Everything okay?
Yeah, I had to run up the stairs. Not used to stairs.
Okay. Yeah. So, we are gonna put you.
I don't think Yvonne's back.
Oh, Yvonne.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay. It's weird. My thing says I'm muted, but I'm obviously not. But you can obviously all hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How strange.
Your other one isn't muted. The DM cufflinks.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
the
I got
Ulysses.
confused as to which. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Thanks.
Mhm. Oh.
It's been that kind of week.
Feel that.
Yvonne! Stella!
And she's back.
I'm
Are you
back.
back?
Sorry, I had a loose chicken.
Oh no.
I looked out
I'm
the
sorry.
window and there was a chicken where it wasn't supposed to be.
I was going to say, I need to know more about this.
I
Can't just say
really
I've
like
got a
that
loose
image in my
chicken and
head.
leave it there.
Yeah. I love that image in my head. Like we're sitting here waiting and she's just out chasing a chicken.
It was definitely it was totally that.
I mean, we're just simulating a dinosaur race. You're actually doing one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so the race master hands you guys a registration form. You're obviously going to have to fill in the actual breed or species of dinosaur you've got. Make sure you get it back to me before the race time starts.
Will do, boss man.
When does it start?
Oh, day after.
Day after what? Today?
No, that would be tomorrow, wouldn't it?
What
Day
time
after
is it?
tomorrow.
Over
We're
tomorrow.
going to have it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon this time. Have you seen the race course?
We've been drawing a poop map.
Yeah.
If you've got a proper map, that would be very helpful.
Did you say a poop map?
Yes, I did.
Don't ask.
Oh, and it's labeled. Yay!
I had prepared all this, and just, at some point I was kind of trying to figure out what I should show you, because you guys, it's not like there's an information booth, right? It's just, I mean, fig merchants aside. Okay. Yeah, so you start here at the villa. You run through Golden Throne. This is all the high area, so no funny business. There'll be guards everywhere. You loop around the Temple of Saphras, then downhill. These are all hills, obviously, which you can clearly see, as he points out his non-existent window. Down the Temple of Gon by the Royal Docks, around the outside, past the bridge to the Temple of Soon, through the Jewel Market, around Executioner's Run, make a loop-de-loop, literally through the Grand Souk, around the Fish Market, and you end at the Grand Colosseum. No combats or attacks on any of the other riders. If you do, you're disqualified and your beast will be forfeit. You may also incur fines and or jail time.
To no funny business.
I mean, if you want to be funny, that's up to you. But no combat.
No problem.
Oh dear.
You'll be up against a whole raft of competitors. I'm sure you've seen or heard Big Honker's the favorite to win. He's pretty intimidating.
Wow.
The Triceratops has been doing pretty well too.
Looks like
What
we'll
kind of
have a fun
dinosaur is
challenge.
big? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What kind of dinosaur is this big? What's this? Big honker.
He's a young T-Rex. Pretty intimidating. Wild as hell, but fun to watch. I made money on him last week. 7-1 odds on favor.
So encouraging.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are going to come in. Depends on what you've got, but as new time riders, I'll be honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of faith in your odds.
Everyone starts somewhere, man.
Fair enough. Anyway, Ooptow's favorite is the Triceratops. And then you've got Banana Candy, the Hadrosaurus.
Hydrosaurus?
Hadrosaurus.
Well, it looks pretty interesting.
I'm excited for a good race.
Me too.
I think this will be fun.
Well,
Well, shall we mosey?
Certainly going to be interesting.
and
Yeah.
obviously, you race at your own peril. Take no responsibility for any injuries that may occur to either the rider, the maintenance team, or the dinosaur itself.
That checks out.
Yeah.
What happens if the dinosaurs attack each other?
Well, occasionally it does happen. But we don't want this to turn into some sort of a wild melee. Obviously, dinosaurs are expensive, and you don't want to be in a position where you're having to replace these expensive racing animals.
Right. Well then.
Should we go?
Yeah, you probably should.
Was asking my party, but thank you for your input.
No problem. I'm here to help.
Of course.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Have a good day. Bye.
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 And he stands there just sort of like waving. And as he waves, his belly jiggles. And as his belly jiggles, the desk kind of jiggles as well.
I imagine the coins do as well.
Yep. You walk
Gross.
away and you can still hear the coins jingling.
And thus Santa was born.
Juniper belly.
All right. Let's see. So off to the dino auction, store.
Yeah, let's go see what's up
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, I need to look at them.
Excuse me.
First time ever somebody entered into a race without an actual mount.
Yes.
I'll figure it out. We'll be fine.
We'll think of something.
I'll
We
think
have
of
faith in
something.
Dallin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys end up walking outside the gates, and you know, this is obviously an area where a lot of livestock are kept, right? You see a sign that says Dino Mart, but it also clearly specifies. Oops, hang on one sec. Sorry, lost my thing. That the proprietor is Ifan Talroa.
Oh, we've heard of him.
Yeah. I know that name.
He was somebody not to be messed with.
Tell me a little bit about him.
You were there.
I was?
Maybe not.
I wasn't listening.
Maybe not mentally.
Not mentally.
I understand. Sometimes in the heat of battle, it's a bit like being a chicken with your head cut off.
Exactly. Running around like a maniac.
I
Not
only have
paid
his
to
name.
think.
I haven't written anything more. I only have the name.
I think I only wrote a sentence about him. I'm just trying to find it.
It's with
too.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
It was mentioned in the same. I think you might
Okay.
be one of the other princes.
I
don't
yeah.
know.
You might be right.
He was definitely one. He's tricky to deal with, is what I've put.
But we don't know anything more.
No.
Just the name and...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, to the market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fade
Okay.
black.
So you walk through. There's like a little. You walk down the main thoroughfare, and there's kind of a banner. Dino Mart, a business of Ifan Talroa, and you see a number of different sized cages. Some of them are quite small, actually, and they seem to house animals that are no bigger than lizards, and some of them even look like lizards. Some of them have wings. There are dinosaurs that have wings. There are things that have wings that you don't recognize. There's even a snake that has wings.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Standing next to the snake with two wings, obviously outside the cage, are two what appear to be either guards or potentially people who purchased the snake, but they are clearly Zents. Gentlemen. And as you work your way further down, the cages get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see a number of different creatures. I'm going to post some images. Hopefully you can see them. Let me know if you cannot, especially Dallin.
Ooh.
See that one?
And
That's funny.
You only
Adina
hear
Cycus.
them. Deinonychus, yes. You only hear them screeching and lowing. Some of them are just kind of standing around. Yes, that's a Dimetrodon. Yep. That's a Hadrosaurus, for those of you who are curious. This one's caged and obviously is not able to fly.
Aw. He should be able to spread his
There
wings.
go.
Yeah. And there's even a small T-Rex.
Aw,
Hmm.
cute.
So if we
So-
decided if we're just running one person in the race, or are we going to do two?
I mean,
We've
we could
only
look
done
at
the
what's
one
here,
so far.
but yeah.
Yeah,
We have one
because
for sure.
Cora burnt up that other paper.
We have at least one.
Yeah, I think it's too risky to run with 2.
Okay.
I can do 2, but if I lose concentration, then one of them just
Uh-oh.
poops away, and we have a rider in a stampede, so it's kind of risky.
You could even buy a dinosaur.
We could.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We could.
Yeah. We can look at what's around, see what they cost.
Because it sure
Little
looks like our letter won't get us anywhere.
Yeah. Imagine that.
What'd you say? What?
Said imagine that.
No,
Did he even
I didn't hear
my
what you
letter
said.
of recommendation?
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, it's got to be good for something.
Must be.
Not the one thing it was supposed to be good for.
Good for lighting a fire.
Yeah.
Or a shopping list.
Exactly.
It's already been
Now
written
we're
on it.
100% guaranteed it would be good for a shopping list. I won't even make you roll for it.
Oh, thank you.
How generous.
Because that's the kind of DM I am.
Oh gosh.
So, hi there. And this slightly stooped young fellow with a pointed chin beard and no upper mustache comes over wearing a fez and a purple, yellow, and green robe with a little vesty jacket that doesn't come to the front. Interested in some fine wares? We only sell the best here at Ethan Talroa's Dino Mart.
Possibly. What's the price on these guys?
Well, it depends on which one you want.
What's the most expensive and what's the least expensive?
Oh, I don't know if you could afford the most expensive. I mean, that's pretty pricey.
Just
But
like
it
it's
would
for
be
fun.
our T-Rex over here.
And how much is your T-Rex?
1,500 gold.
1,500?
Yeah.
And the least expensive?
Well, I mean, we've got this one fella.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's getting up in years. He probably, well, look, let's just say there's no warranties. You buy it as is.
Oh boy.
Okay, what's your least expensive, most viable one that isn't about to keel over?
250 gold?
Gotcha. Alright. Are any of the actual contenders here?
Well, they're actually all the way in the back. You can't see them, obviously. Not
Right.
unless you're an owner or a trainer or a rider. Not everybody stores their animals here. Some of the owners like to keep theirs on their private villa if they're sponsored by one of the merchant princes.
What do you guys think?
I think it's worth it.
Get another one?
Take a peek around. I think to
Oh,
get
okay.
another one and also to take a peek around. I mean, you still need to have a really good look at your competition.
Oh. What's this thing about peeking at the competition? Are you planning on entering the race?
Yes, sir.
The one in 2 days?
That's right.
And you don't have a dinosaur yet? Oh, really? Oh, so you're familiar with dino flesh. So what have you got?
Surprise contender. We're new, don't you know?
Very interesting. And he strokes that tiny little soul patch that's barely there. I don't suppose you'd like to give me a hint. Does he run on 2 legs or 4?
Trade secret. I mean, if you let us take a look at the competition, maybe.
Look, you know, I've got a bunch of student loans I've got to pay off. I can't lose my job. But I suppose if you could help me with my loan payments. And he sort of looks away while he looks away, but he lifts his vest up a little bit, and you can see that it's got a big, multicolored inside pocket patch sewn on, and there's like a couple of things jingling inside, and he just sort of jingles it while he looks at one of the other dinosaurs and absentmindedly seems to be stroking its snout.
Do I see any rats around? Rats or other vermin?
Roll perception.
Let's see. Is that the first P? It's the first P.
It's the first P.
Yeah.
Guys, honestly. Yeah, so, on the one hand, they do try to keep it fairly sanitary, right, for obvious reasons. Right? It's expensive stock, and you don't want disease affecting the value of your inventory. On the other hand, anytime, as anybody who's ever had livestock knows, anytime you've got feed spilling out all over the place and poop and stuff, there's always going to be something scurrying around. So, yeah, you sense that you sense with your keen druid senses that there's definitely something in the straw in the back in the dark somewhere.
Okay. Could a rat go into the restricted section?
I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
I was kind of hoping I'm gonna use my mind link and send Satina a message. Maybe we should.
The young man looks at you and says, "What? A mind link? Who's Satina?"
Hi, that's me.
Saying that out loud. I'm gonna just use my mind link and say to Satina that maybe we should send Salazar as a rat in to check out the competition.
You see, I would love to do that, but they stole my spell book.
Oh god. But didn't you have that prepared?
It's a ritual spell. Why would I have that prepared when I could do something else that's not a ritual spell that I can prepare? And she goes on to like a rant about how prepared spells.
I'm just gonna shut the mind link off.
And although you're
wouldn't
not
that be
actually
nice?
talking out loud, clearly Satina is in a physical rant as well. She's like physically channeling the rant, and all you see are these short dwarven arms like flailing angrily and violently, while her beard just stands up. Like when she gets angry, I guess her beard sticks out and stands up like hair that's gotten a little bit out of control. And the young soul patch guy is looking at the two of you, just like looking at each other, like waving at your arms. Oh, well, obviously you guys, I didn't realize one of you was hearing impaired. And he starts like signing in some weird language.
I think she's turning into a dinosaur.
I'll let you guys work it out, but would you mind standing outside if you're not going to buy anything?
Sure.
We're not operating a zoo. Unless, of course, you could help me with my student loans. Jingle, 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 jingle.
I'm kind of
How much
sick
are your
of.
student loans?
What?
Go ahead.
What did you say, Henrietta?
No, I'm kind of sick of paying people off, so I'm just gonna go outside.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Yeah.
He just
We'll come
mumbles.
back.
Cheapskates.
So
Don't
Tina's
worry,
gonna
we
do
may
like
or
a
may
little
not come
stomp
back.
as she's coming out.
Satina's what?
She's gonna stomp as she's coming, like a tiny little stomp, like a frustrated stomp.
Oh, right.
Like as she's walking out. Like, I can't believe I lost my spell book. I would be able to help if I had my spell book.
Wow, I've never seen anybody get that excited about dinosaur prices. My gosh. Somebody needs to deal with some anger management issues. Hey, how are you? Are you in the market for a dinosaur? And he starts walking over to some other people that have wandered in. They seem to be tourists holding up a piece of paper and looking at it and pointing at things. Oh, nope, sorry, you can't take any pictures here.
Picture.
Well, one of them's drawing something.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Because, of course, there aren't any cameras.
Yeah.
Just magic. But no cameras.
I guess we start meandering back further in.
Yeah.
Well, when you say meandering further in, you mean towards the back? You're going to try to sneak into the race pits? The
probably-
race...
Sneak in, but just get away from him specifically.
Okay, well, he's only going to let you leave through the front entrance. So if that's what you're trying to do, that's fine. But if you're trying to sneak in, we'll have to handle that separately.
I'll
You're not
follow
trying to do
the
that,
party.
right?
No.
Yeah. You've done enough already. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying there's some stuff happening.
Well, I could turn into a rat and try to get back there, but if I get hurt, I will poof back into myself and our cover is blown. So it's
Well, then
pretty
don't get
risky.
hurt.
The jig is up.
You try not to get
She gets
hurt in a
eaten.
stall full of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Gets eaten by a hungry bone crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Carnivorous,
stamped on, or
huge animals with giant feet.
yeah.
Nothing bad could ever happen.
Invisibility.
True.
I don't know if that'll be helpful. I have invisibility. That's prepared.
Yeah, I mean, invisibility specifically helps on stealth checks, right?
An invisible rat.
Well, I mean, if you want to be invisible as a rat.
Do we want to try?
What's that you said?
What?
What'd you say?
Oh, I'm looking for a hat.
I thought you were deaf.
No. That's really rude of you to presume.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, ooh. Hey, are you looking for a dinosaur? Can I help you out with anything there, sir?
Is
So,
it worth
I'm
it?
going to lower my voice. Sorry.
And I'm
do you
gonna
wanna-
actually, I'll go and talk to him to distract him. He's not
Ooh,
paying
very
any
nice.
attention. So I'm gonna go in there and just talk to him about that Dinah. It's like, hey, can you tell me what this one is? This Dinah, like the one that looks like it can go pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. I know Nykus.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
Dino
it's the one with the big sail on the back. No, sorry, it's
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's the one
No,
that looks
not
like
that one.
it's the one that looks like a
Map.
it's kind of like a velociraptor basically.
Not that one.
Yeah, they run in packs. They're pretty good. No, that's not that one either. They're pretty fast. They're pretty
There we go.
they're pretty fast.
Isn't that
Do you
now?
think it can carry me?
Yeah, that's close enough.
What are these?
After a while, they all look the same to me. Hey, look, I'm just here to pay off my student loans. You can't
Well, how
expect
much
too
is it?
much. My student loans?
No. Well, yeah. Tell me about your student loans. Tell me why do you have student loans? Do you have like an education in dinosaurs?
What? No. What made you think that?
I don't know.
I
Because you
studied
work here?
literature.
Wow. What's your favorite? Tell me your favorite literature. Because I know so much about literature.
Shakespeare.
Look, lady, I don't know what your game is, but I'm here to sell dinosaurs and get some commission. If you're not buying, move
Oh,
out of the
no,
way
I
for
might be
paying
buying.
customers.
Totally might be buying, but I was just trying to be friendly here. Like, it's a lot to go to school and come out with student loans, I guess, and that's kind of a lot. Sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm. 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 Roll deception.
So how much is a Deinonychus?
Roll deception. Henrietta, you can roll insight.
Okay.
Oh man. A little disingenuous.
Inside. Oh my god.
No.
Critical.
So, you don't mind if I just ask, can you actually afford a dinosaur? Can I see
Well, they
some
can.
letters of credit or some money?
Well, my crew's going to sponsor me, but they're out there, but they want me to look at it because I don't,
Yeah.
they don't want to just throw me on anything.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's getting kind of late and I've got to go have my afternoon nap. So I'm going to have to ask you guys all to leave. Sorry about that.
Can we come back later?
No.
I jingle the big bag of coin. Just kidding.
Because, I mean, we are looking.
Hey, look, I can always make an exception for somebody who's accommodating, but boy, those student loans really are crushing me.
Man, you're really desperate.
I am! I'm desperate! What can I say? They're expensive, man. If somebody had told
They
me
are.
that a literature degree wasn't going to do me any good, I never would have gone to college.
Tell me about it.
It was either that or, serve coffee. And sometimes I kind of wonder if I made the wrong choice. Like today, when I'm not selling anything.
Will you still give us a price on this Deinonychus thing? Just so we know.
500.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe we want to
What?
go.
That's
see
it?
Peter
You're
out
not going to
today.
help me out? Come on, I wasted all this time on you.
I've only got 5 gold.
I'll take it.
To my name. Well,
I'll
I haven't got
take
enough
it.
to give you. No,
And he
I
starts
got to pay
fishing
for
through
my
your pockets. Where
my
is it?
room.
I need it. I need it.
And I pushed him away.
Oh, and he falls in the dirt. Man, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
All right. And I just walked
he's-
out of there.
And he stomps off angrily in the other direction. Won't even let
He's
me
distracted.
me grow a mustache. Gotta wear this stupid soul patch because it's part of the outfit. Man, this is annoying. This is bullshit. All right, so what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I
So
assume that was our distraction.
yeah, that's the distraction. So we're all talking while that's happening. So I'm gonna whisper to Dallin and be like, "Do you want to be an invisible rat?"
Well, if I'm going to go back there, I think I have to be.
So you don't want to just be a rat, or just invisible? You want both of them?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think that's best. Because if I
alright,
get
so I can't.
stepped on and go back to myself, I'm still invisible.
Yeah. Depends on the damage that you take. Because if you, the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So I think you can still take damage. So that's good. Just had to make sure. But I'm not gonna make you invisible right here. So we're gonna need to
Yeah, we need
go
to.
somewhere.
Yeah. Go into a bush or an alley or something.
Yeah. Then you'll turn into a rat, hopefully not among other rats, and then I'll turn you invisible,
Yeah.
and then you go.
You turned the wrong rat invisible.
Yeah, right. And then you can go and. What is the purpose of this? Is this just to see other dinosaurs?
I
Is it to
think
see our
so.
competition?
I think so. I don't know why.
Oh, what?
It wasn't me that wanted to go. It wasn't me that wanted to go in. and see the competition. I don't know if
Oh,
we
this is-
can ascertain anything from it. I don't know
With
anything
planning
about
like this, what could possibly go wrong?
dinosaur
Right?
races.
Okay. So we don't know why we're doing this, but we're doing it anyways. Is that what's happening?
It's either that or kill more kids for XP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lesser evil.
Okay. This is fine. Okay. Let's go find a bush.
Okay. We're gonna go and find a bush or an alley, empty alley
are
or
there-
something.
Yeah, is there anything like near us that we can hide behind?
Well, there's lots of buildings and baskets and merchants and things. There are some alleys, sure. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
find
can
something.
stand in a basket.
Yeah.
And then
I zoom into a rat.
Stand in a basket.
Shrinks. It's a magic trick.
Yeah.
watch this lady disappear.
Poof.
And I'm a rat.
Oh, fantastic.
And somebody walking by goes, "Oh, that's pretty impressive," and he throws you a copper coin.
Fuck yeah.
I
And
think
I
we found
dance.
our way to get 500 gold.
I'm gonna tip an invisible hat to him.
You're tipping an invisible hat to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, right, yeah. Yeah, no problem. But, really, go get a job.
Okay, Bob.
How'd you know my name?
That's our other magic trick.
Mind readers.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so,
So you are now a rat.
Yes. I am now a rat. And
Can you just post the wild shape rules again?
Sure. Let's see. Where is it?
And also, if you, Maddie, if you could just post the invisibility rules again.
That's a long
Absolutely.
one.
Thank you. Yes, wild shape is very long, but it's one of the cooler features in the game.
Oh wait,
I
what does the
personally
leveling do? Targeting. Oh, I don't need that.
think. You don't need it. Okay, so you retain all your skill and saving throw proficiencies. If you get anything, which I don't think a rat has, that would exceed your existing ones, you could use those instead. Okay. You also keep your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah.
You obviously can understand languages. One of the limitations is you can't speak unless the form you take has the ability to speak. You also can't manipulate things unless your form had the ability to manipulate things in that way. So if you took on the form of, say, an ape or a monkey or something, then of course, as a simian, right, you can essentially mimic most things that humans can do, but any other form is going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. What about my
Okay,
mind
cool.
link? That's
Yeah, I mean-
ability.
Yeah, so let's just double check. I have to
Let's
say I'm
see.
not an expert on Mind Link.
Post
I
it
believe
again.
it just stays outstanding, right? It's just good for a period of time. So yeah, there's nothing in this that seems to suggest to me that you wouldn't maintain your Mind Link with Satina.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not you choose to do so, considering that she has continuously ranted about this over and over again, at some point you're just
Very
like
frustrating.
just like blocking her out, right?
Yeah.
Just put me on mute.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have that open just in case something happens to me, so I can call them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
That's fair.
So, but it's
And
50 feet, so I might not be able to keep it unless
Right.
they are. And they're not welcome inside to look
Yes,
at the
you
dinosaur
guys have-
either. So.
You guys have outlasted your welcome in the Dino Mart, and as you can imagine, 50 feet in a place that's big enough to house multiple huge large and huge creatures is not going to get you very far.
No.
So
But does the
it'll
mind
work up
link
until then.
break, or do I get it back when I get in within 50 feet again? Do you know? Just to be difficult. Doesn't say.
Yeah, I feel like it just doesn't work outside the range, but the link isn't necessarily broken.
Like you lost signal.
Yeah.
I would say that
Out of
the link
range.
isn't broken.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then in terms of invisibility, as Maddie said, obviously if you attack somebody, then you would lose invisibility. But if you don't attack anybody, then just because you may have taken damage doesn't necessarily mean you would lose invisibility.
Yes.
Just don't make a noise.
I will try not to.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly. So if you're invisible, they can't see you, but that doesn't mean they cannot target you. Okay, cool. So you are now an invisible rat,
Yes.
Dallin.
Yes, I'm gonna try and sneak my way into the back.
Okay. Well, for one thing, let's have a stealth check.
Okay, we can try. That's a stealth check for a rat, actually.
Yes, if it's better for you, then you can certainly do that. And of course, you have advantage because you're invisible.
Okay. Let's see. So I have that, and so it's 14 because the rat has +0.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're able to not only, there's so much going on, and you can certainly get past the one guy who actually cares. Anybody else who even could hear a rat wouldn't even really be paying close attention, other than possibly to try to get away from it. So, one of the young ladies accompanying one of the older gentlemen who seems to be trying to live through a midlife crisis by buying a fast, exciting dinosaur. She sort of scurries away from the sound of a rat approaching, but everybody else seems to just keep talking as, this is a really, really fast, but is it going to get the ladies? Oh, yeah, chicks love this. And they just keep going on and on. You get past the main area where you were shown animals for sale, and beyond that, there is a wooden, very large, sort of 15-foot high wooden door that slides to the side. It's got some bars on it at human height level, is what you can guess, and then some bars further up as well. But most of it is sort of a local wood, and it's painted. You can easily slide underneath the door or past the door, not a problem.
Okay.
And inside you can see similar setup as outside, but there is, in between each of the large monsters, there is also an empty bay. So it's kind of one dinosaur, an empty space, another dinosaur, another empty space. So they're not necessarily either facing each other across the stable walkway, as it were, and they're also not, so they're staggered, and they're also not adjacent to any other animal. There's also a typical, what you would expect inside a stable type setup, right? There's various types of equipment for either cleaning out or caring for the animals, as well as harnesses, lots of costumes for the various beasts. There are names in front of each of the stables, representing some of the animals that you've heard of from the race master, as well as a few that the race master didn't mention, presumably ones that are raced at other times or perhaps are still in the process of being trained.
Okay. So there's nothing out of the ordinary, kind of, that didn't...
Well, the question is, what do you think is out of the ordinary?
I
Something specific?
No, I have no idea.
I mean, if you're not a jockey, and you're not a dinosaur person, would you know what is out of the ordinary? Do you have an idea what you're looking for?
No. To be honest, I don't know what I'm looking for. So it's the young big honkers there? Is he back there? The young T-Rex.
So, when you get to the back, there is an extra large area, and you do see the T-Rex and a sign that says Big Honker. And Big Honker's got, most of the other dinosaurs are, they're attached to some fastener in the back, typically in the ground, by a small chain and a metal collar. Big Honker is attached to 4 posts by the collar and 4 separate chains. And he, although he doesn't see you, he sniffs in your direction as you approach and starts sort of pulling at the chains and gnashing his teeth like he's trying to bite something. And it's in your direction.
Okay. I'm just gonna run back and forth in front of the cage. Just to tease him.
It's just to piss him off?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what is that? What do you think? Is that performance?
I don't know. I'm just gonna be an ass.
That is, I think that's performance.
Okay.
I think that's the first P.
That's the first P. Oh, not an advantage. So it's a 3. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yvonne, why don't you roll the opposing check? We'll see
Okay.
if it's I think that ought to be a wisdom check. So you'll have no bonus.
Sorry, when I roll an opposing check, what am I rolling? Just a wisdom on my own?
No, just roll a d20.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he's definitely keen to eat you, but he doesn't seem to be, getting excited enough to be doing anything like hurting himself or pull down the walls of the establishment, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kick.
I know what you're like, Henrietta.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kick some dirt with my back legs, like, Also, I'm gonna walk away. Not that he can
Nice.
see me,
Lots-
but
Lots of attitude.
yeah.
And he snorts. He can't reach you, but he snorts. And even from that distance, you can feel the hot steam of his breath on your back legs.
I'm so glad he's tied up.
This could end so badly.
Yeah. It could. Well, I don't think there's a lot more to do in here.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. But
Well, if I had thought about it a little bit more, I came up with a plan now, but it's too late. So, so I'm just gonna go back to the group and just
okay.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, you'll be back before the hour's up.
Yeah.
For the invisibility. So yeah, you return to the group. Are you girls? Is the rest of the group talking shit about her while she's away?
No.
I mean,
If.
Tina's gonna be watching the jugglers, trying to figure out how they're doing it.
Roll investigation.
Okie dokie, I can do
steal
that.
their thunder.
Yeah. Investigation. Oh, I have a +6. That's an 18.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a lot of hand-eye coordination, which you may or may not be good at. Especially if you're acrobatics. You think you probably need to have some proficiency in acrobatics in order to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
If only you had like an illusion spell.
I have minor illusion. Won't do me much good, but I have it.
If only you had an illusion spell. So
What a shame.
Satina gets the impression that if she wanted to make money as a street busker using minor illusion, she could probably make a bit of coin.
Ooh, I will keep that in mind.
Wow. From professor of art history at the most prestigious university in Faerun to street hustler and busker in a jungle port city.
How the mighty have fallen.
Your gnomish
Hey,
parents
this
would
is-
be so proud.
Yes, they would. Because I'm living my best life.
You are living your best life, and all those student loans that you took out definitely were worth it.
Absolutely. Although, do you think that they would be like proud of me for becoming a teacher?
I don't know. You tell me.
I
Being a
think as
teacher
my
is-
parents, they would be proud, but I think like of the gnomes, like gnomes are like they like to work with their hands and stuff, right? And like be creative.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a professorship at the Conclave of Silvering Moon is a very prestigious position.
It's true.
So,
I hope they're proud of me.
are they dead?
Don't think I ever said they're dead, but they might be.
Well, then maybe you should just call your parents more often.
Maybe I should.
That's fine.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? Your invisible rat is back.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Satina to remove the
How do we
invisibility.
know?
Well, presumably she's going to say something.
I'm gonna stay a rat. I'm gonna stay as a rat, but I'm gonna use my mind link to tell Satina to remove the invisibility.
Okay,
And then
done.
I'm gonna say don't freak out, and I'm gonna start crawl up her cloak and sit on her shoulder and be her familiar until my wild shape goes out.
Okay.
she
Oh,
doesn't
you
have
can-
the
Gonna pop up on
spell.
her shoulder.
Yeah.
You can come out of wild shape anytime you want.
Yeah, no, but it lasts.
Oh, you want to?
I
Okay.
want to stay in wild shape and be her familiar until my wild shape ends, so that she doesn't feel so
Sure.
down. She doesn't have the spell anymore.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
That's cute.
you made a DM cry. Oh. Right, so shenanigans aside, you've gotten a good look at all the dinosaurs that are racing and a few that aren't, and you have a good idea of what you can or cannot do, but of course you've got recorded in your brain and perhaps even on some notes all the relevant details you need in order to copy those shapes should you decide to do so at a later stage. What do you guys want to do?
Guess we should find an inn next.
Yeah.
How late is it in the day at this point?
Yeah, it's a good question. You guys got to. Let's see. You guys arrived originally at the outer harbor, sort of early morning. You partook of a combat. You had a whole bunch of interactions with Cessna and everybody else, and then you took a long rest, right, at Cessna's, and you set out first thing in the morning for the main city. I'd say it's probably afternoon.
It's not bad.
You've been walking all over the place, talking to people, wasting some people's time, paying other people bribes.
Well, we need to
Not-
get your spell book back, don't we?
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
I had wanted to see
preferably my
the Wharf
backpack.
Master, but we can do that tomorrow because we have a day to kill. We shouldn't wait much longer to get your spellbook back. I'm sure it's very valuable to you.
Does anybody need a money changer?
And what, sorry?
Does anybody need a money changer?
Oh, to go exchange currency.
Yeah.
Maybe. I kind of want
Well,
to look.
if we're
in-
gonna be paying for a hotel or whatever, or a inn or whatever it may be, we're gonna need to pay for it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you guys don't mind me taking a spot on the floor because I don't have any cash.
I'm
got
sure
you
we
covered.
can spot you a bed.
Yeah.
But you do have a very nice rusty shovel.
I do.
Good for
I think
burying
it's great.
undead. Yep.
I kind of want to look at the jewels market as well to see if they have any magical necklaces or something. Or rings or anything.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys decide what you want to do.
Yeah, do a bit of shopping for the rest of the day, or look for her spell book. Maybe her
Wasn't
spell
that why
book
we were going
ended up
to-
in a shop.
I sure hope not. Wasn't that why we were going to see the lady? Because
Right.
they're connected.
Right.
So that might be in a couple of days, which is fine. I'll be fine. I got spells prepared. It's just hard. And she's gonna
I'm
like
so
sadly
sorry.
pet Dallin in rat form.
I pat her shoulder and I say, I'm so sorry you don't have innate magical abilities.
Magical abilities. I just don't have my
Ooh.
spell book.
Wow.
You know how spells work?
No.
Wow. The whole sorcerer versus wizard thing really kicking off. Jeez. Nasty.
I said it. I didn't say it in a necessarily mean way. It's just open up to interpretation.
I took psychic damage. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Yeah. So where are you guys going to want to go? You can't get into the. You can get up to the jewelers and merchants area because that is open. As I said, in order to get to the upper areas, you would have to be able to get in through the extra sets of walls, which are manned by either private security or militia or Flaming Fist, sometimes the Zentrum. There are even a few other groups that you don't recognize. Sometimes there are a couple of folks that have some other emblems or symbols, like a gauntlet or something else. You do have, where you are is not very far from the Merchant's Ward. You also are pretty close to the harbor area, if that's what you want to do. The other stuff is a little bit further away. You can certainly get there, but just walking through a new city and all the street traffic and everything, you might take a longer turn in order to get there.
Oh, maybe this will come into play here. My urchin ability will help us a little bit.
Oh yes, right. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get to wherever you need to go to in half the time. So you can pretty much cover the city, but you need to choose one particular place.
Yeah.
Money exchange?
Money exchange.
The harbor master and the money exchange are near each other because.
Ooh,
right,
that works out.
Well, because most this is a commerce-based city, so most people come in by sea. You don't normally have people just waltzing in through the jungle because the jungle is literally an absolutely wild expanse. There's no there's no real land route from Port Nyanzaru to any of the major cities further up in Faerun.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys want to head to the moneylenders?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the moneylender is there. He's a very thin man. He's got he's quite bald. He's a little bit older. What hair you see is gray, and he seems to be having a conversation with a golden scaled humanoid with dragon features. Look, I
Dragonborn.
told you that they came in and then they didn't pay and they left. Yes, I understand that, but how did they get past the dragon turtle when obviously the turtle's job is to protect the harbor?
Hello.
I don't know. And the two of them look at you. Yes?
Are you the money lender?
No,
Stranger?
I am the harbor master. He's the money lender. Yes, I can lend money and funds if you have collateral.
Is
I
the money, or sorry, is the harbor master the Dragonborn speaking?
Yes,
Okay.
the deeper voiced one is the golden scaled draconic looking humanoid.
Okay.
Oh,
Got it.
it's you.
It's me?
Yes, you, Meridian. You're back.
I'm back.
Well, this is good news. I wasn't expecting you so soon.
Right. Maybe we could have a chat later. Separately. I'll give you some updates.
Of course. And where's my son? Is he with you? I don't see him.
no.
He's not here with us right now. I'll update you in a bit after we do our business.
What do you mean? Is he with that mage that you were traveling with?
Maybe.
He looks at you very suspiciously. Joe, let's have a roll. Emma, let's have a roll.
Deception, I'm assuming?
You tell me.
14.
I get the sense you're not telling me something. And he immediately starts to cast a spell. And because he's doing it right in front of you, you can roll a wisdom check.
Ooh,
Or wisdom save, actually.
Yeah. Let's see here. That's not one of my best things. 16.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you. You feel... You almost... You can swear you feel fingers actually probing inside your brain.
Ew.
Don't like that.
That's disgusting.
What?
Get out.
What is this? I saw an image. My son is dead. Why isn't he with you?
Well, it's a very long story. Do you have time?
Do I have time to hear the story of how you killed my son and didn't have the grace to bring back his body as per our agreement? You had better explain yourself.
I don't remember your son. I know it was Zagig. I believe he went with me to the island, right? With the rest of my crew. Something happened. I don't know what, but I was thrown into some sort of bloody river on a temple in the island, and I woke up and had no memories. So, I'm sorry. I met him again. We rescued him from a dragon's lair. The other Dragonborn didn't make it, but your son was the only one who was actually decent enough to stick by us. And, well, you know the rest.
No.
You just looked into my mind.
Well,
We
you
were
shut it
traveling
off.
back. Oh. Well, we were traveling back to go sell off some of the dragon parts we harvested. Zagig came with us. And we ran into some trouble on sea, got into a scuffle, and were thrown up in the air and splatted down. So, he died on impact. I am very sorry.
And he keeps pushing into your mind. Do you resist?
No.
I see that part is true, but it also appears that one of you... And he looks at Cora. apparently has the ability to bring people back. Plus, you could have at least brought back his body so that we could revive him. As per your agreement.
I don't remember our agreement, I'm sorry.
And you didn't think it was worth it to bring him back after he died defending your ship?
He'd been gone for too long. I couldn't bring him back.
He died instantaneously in your presence.
She was below
I
deck.
wasn't there at the time.
I see the memory clearly.
Yeah, well, she wasn't there. She was under deck. She didn't see it happen.
I don't understand. Are you claiming that this is a defense for not following through on your promises or even doing the simplest, kindest, decent thing?
I
And you
buried
can
him on the island.
And you sense his righteous anger. You can feel that he is very upset because in his mind, this is not something that should have happened. At a minimum, you should have brought back the body because the body itself could have been brought back.
Look, I'm sorry, but I still don't know who you are. I don't remember anything. If you could give me any sort of context, that would be wonderful.
I gave you training in return for taking on my son as your apprentice. You promised to protect him, and thus I funded your venture, introduced you to some of the other members of my race. We did not think it made sense for a dragonborn and a half-dragon to consort, but we took you at your word and you gave your word of honor. I assumed that meant something.
It probably did.
Can you not tell with your probing that she's lost her memory?
And he looks at Cora, then he looks deeply at Meridian.
I did say I
Yes.
did.
I believe that you lost your memory, but that
So
doesn't tell me why you haven't tried to fix him or save him or at least bring him back. Why would you bury him on an island, deserted of all life, when you could easily have brought him back to Port Nyanzaru, and you were headed here and it was only a day's sail?
Well, I didn't know he was from here. I didn't remember, at least.
So you wouldn't have brought him back to his people regardless?
I had no idea who his people were.
Does anybody else want to do anything? I don't want to dominate the whole thing.
No, it's okay. I'm just sitting back here listening. Because I don't know what's happened.
I don't
Eating
think there's
figs.
a lot that we can do to help.
Are you guys all standing there eating figs?
I'm not eating those figs.
No, neither am I. I bought them, but I'm not eating them.
They're for trading.
Got rid of one bag.
That's good.
He
No,
looks at...
I'm not actually in the room. I'm kind of out of the room anyway.
don't look at me,
Because
mate.
I'm assuming the room's pretty small, right?
It's a small office, yeah. It's a small office, but there are separate alcoves. One clearly with a safe that's behind bars. Another one that's got bars and what appear to be a number of weapons, including crossbows. And then there's a third alcove that has... it doesn't have any bars in front of it, but it has a number of kind of filing cabinet type structures that you assume are where the money lender keeps records.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the weapons, just because, I love weapons.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's some very nice ones. There's a large two-handed sword. There's a crossbow, as I said. There seem to be an array of daggers. And each of them has a label on it, like a little tag attached by a small string to the handle or any part of the structure.
Now, I don't even remember your name. Can you tell me what our mission was, and what do you mean half-dragon and dragonborn?
I am Zindar, Sorcerer Supreme of Port Nyanzaru and Harbor Master. It is my duty to protect the city and to interact with the dragon turtle who protects us in turn. You took on my son in return for training in your sorceress ways to help you develop your own abilities and to learn more about your gold dragon heritage.
My what? I look at my scales. Looks pretty white to me. I mean, they do
You have-
shine a little, but
You have a gold dragon heritage,
yeah, I know.
but
I'm
he
just
knows that.
like role playing as it. And I don't
Oh, okay, right.
remember that.
Oh, you don't remember that you don't know that you're half. Okay, all right. Well, you explained it to me, and I even entertained thoughts that at some point the two of you might become good friends. But you seemed to have a good head on your shoulders, and you seemed quite trustworthy. You spoke to me about honor and friendship, and that it meant something to you. I was quite moved by your plea, as I don't normally take on students. But since you made the promise to bring him back no matter what, I assumed that was something I could rely on. Notwithstanding the circumstances of your memory loss, I still don't understand why you wouldn't his body and bring it back to civilization in an attempt to revive him. It is, after all, the least you could do.
Well, I am sorry. Obviously, I wasn't thinking clearly. I am still very confused.
And the
I
rest
have-
of you, not a single one of you thought to correct this behavior. Aren't you some sort of a cleric? You have the mark of Lathander on your shield. Is it either God of Mercy?
Well, at the time that your son perished, I was below deck. By the time I was aware of your son's death, there was nothing I could have done to have brought him back.
Maybe not his soul, but you could have brought back his physical body. From what I see of the image, you left him in a shallow grave on the beach, barely covered by a layer of sand. He's probably half eaten by hermit crabs by now. Is that really a justifiable death and burial for someone who gave his life for you?
We thought we were doing the right thing at the time.
A shallow grave on the beach under the waterline. That would have been exposed at the first high tide.
Meridian looks very conflicted. She's not sure what to say.
Don't think that this is over. You will make amends. And
How?
he storms out. You sense you have made an enemy this day. And that is where we're going to end this week.
Dun dun dun.
He does not seem like someone that we want to be our enemy.
No.
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 Yeah, and besides, he's a sorcerer, so he doesn't need a spell book.
I kind of want to sail back to the island and get his body
I know,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only.
Well, we could.
We could probably do that.
Yeah.
could
It's
do that.
just a day journey, like you said.
Be like,
A
hey, we'll be right back.
3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. What was it Henrietta said? We're never going to get off this fucking island.
And now we're going back.
We're going back. It's kind of fitting because I've been watching Lost a couple of last
Oh,
week.
God.
Yeah. So it's kind of fitting.
Nice.
Yeah. I am not getting any ideas from Lost, so just so you know. I stopped watching after like the second season or whatever it was when everything started going completely bonkers.
Yeah.
But they have dinosaurs on Lost too, don't they?
No.
Do they? I don't think I've gotten that far.
No, I
Oh,
don't,
they don't?
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
I saw some. Okay, right. Well, anyway.
Or maybe they do. Like,
I
I think
don't.
I only
I did
watched
not.
like half of the first season.
I didn't see it, so I could be just getting the wrong impression from an internet meme, which is pretty much where I get all my information these days. as good a source
the
as
most
any.
credible source. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely memes.
Right? You know, why not?
Bite-sized news.
Bite-sized news and equally as accurate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun this week.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It was great.
Always.
It was a bit of a dramatic, intense ending, but you know, like we've passed. Some of you know this firsthand. Actions have consequences. It's a realistic world. We have a lot of fun, but if it wasn't realistic in that sense, it wouldn't be realistic at all. We already have crazy things like magic and fourth
Can't
wall
make
breaking
friends
humor.
with everyone.
You can't make friends with everyone, but you
Gotta
can
have some
try to make.
enemies.
You can try to make friends with everyone. It's not like you didn't. It's not like you tried really, really hard. You know, killing kids, killing innocents, not doing the right thing. You know, if you want to play evil, you absolutely can. You just have to understand that sometimes you have to, you know, get along to get along, as the saying goes, right?
Hey, Meridian was looking out for herself.
And she was. Meridian was looking out for herself, and that is the consequence of looking out for herself.
Yep.
And we kind of have experience dragging around a dead body. And we're kind of sick of it. We finally got rid of one dead body. Didn't want to drag another one around.
We just got rid of one. We didn't want another one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just constantly have a dead body on us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like your calling card these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, next week, we have a dinosaur race to look forward to.
Yeah. And I have a plan.
Oh, I'm going to miss it.
Oh, right.
That is so sad.
Poor Joe.
Maybe we could stall long enough?
I will look forward to hearing all about it when I get back.
Well, let me put it this way. Are you guys going to play it straight?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
Yeah.
it's not. In that case, you're not. You'll miss it, but it's not critical. If you
Not
were
going to
going
make
to
more
try,
enemies?
if you're going, well, no. I mean, you might. Hey, look. You know what it's like. You can make enemies in real life, even if you do play it straight. Take it from somebody who tried to play it straight his entire life. People get jealous. People just don't like the cut of your jib, whatever it is. But if you were going to try to pull some shenanigans, obviously Cora has the magical and or skill ability to help with certain things. It would be much more important for Joe to be present in order to help contribute if you want to try to do that.
Yeah.
I have one thing I want to try, but I don't think Cora can help with it, so.
Okay. So if you think about it, they were very clear about what the rules entailed. And you can try to interpret, I'm not saying you should, but you can try to interpret the rules the way you understood them. Combat between riders is not allowed. That was the hard and fast rule.
What about combat between the dinosaurs?
I think that was raised at one point, wasn't it? And they kind of said they discourage it because they don't want to risk losing their stock. But it does happen.
Yeah.
It's not like you can always protect. Even in an actual horse race, sometimes things happen, right? Horses bump into each other. Sometimes the horses bite each other. They kick each other. It's not like it's impossible for something bad to happen, especially when you've
they're
got
still
a race.
animals.
They're still animals, and now you've got a situation where they're not even animals of the same species. Or herbivores. Some of them are actually carnivores that would potentially, under the right circumstances, go chase after some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So, is it impossible? No. But are there other things that might happen as well? Yeah, maybe, right?
So making
definitely.
friends with the other dinosaurs isn't breaking the rules.
Hey, all I know is if you tell the guy mad skills, that's what he's writing down.
It's not what we said. That was just like a side thing.
Part of the sentence.
I'm just
You
saying
said-
that we have mad skills, not that we are mad skills.
He said, what are you entering? And you said, we have mad skills. So he thought
Oh
your
my
name
gosh.
was Mad Skills. We have mad skills. What part of that is not clear?
I'm like pinching the bridge of my nose right now in real life.
Same.
He's-
Same.
He's a bored bureaucrat who gives about 30% of his attention to his job. What do you expect from the guy?
Yeah, 70%
a little
to
more
annoying
attention to
people.
detail.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, sure, that's
Like
no problem.
5% more.
It'll cost you.
Oh, I'm sure. Just slide it into his belly button again.
That was gross. I
It's
didn't
so
like
gross.
that.
I'm gonna
All
have
the
to stat
gore?
that guy out. I feel like he's gonna become more important over time.
I hope not.
All right. Well, on behalf of all the Bobs in my imaginary worlds, I wish you all a wonderful, happy, safe, and fun Easter.
Thank you.
And good luck with your trips and your chicken chasing and whatever else, and your new houses and whatever else you may get up to over the next 7 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just
All right.
want some mini eggs,
See you
man.
guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds
Joe.
good.
Let
Happy
us know how it
travel.
goes. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.